Hello, everyone. Good day to you, wherever you are. My name is Simone Scott Sawyer, and welcome again to my YouTube channel, which I called the Esky channel. So, for those of you who may not be familiar with this channel, I started it to empower, to share, to connect, to inform, and to engage. And it started out of a point of pain. I discuss a period in my life where I was having some challenges with my health. And I sort of broadened the platform beyond that to talk about other topics of interest that hopefully might be of interest to you as well, and hopefully might be a blessing. And today, what with it being a brand new month and a brand new year, I thought I would wander into the world of singles. Yes, sensational singles out there. I'm very blessed to be part of an amazing church called ICANN Community Church. And amongst many of the fabulous things that the church does, we've also recently decided to launch into singles events, which is what brings myself and my guest here today. Welcome to my platform, Patrick, Mr. Patrick Stanley. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So as I was saying, ICANN Community Church decided quite recently that this was an area that it wanted to look into. There are lots of beautiful men and women out there who are serious-minded about their future, intentional about wanting to find their king or their queen. And we use those words deliberately in terms of wanting to find a like-minded individual who suits their personality and somebody that they can do life with. It can be a bit of a rocky terrain out there for any of those who are single or used to be single. You may well know that when it comes to meeting members of the opposite sex, it may not be such an uphill task like trying to meet somebody who you gel with, somebody who you bond with, and would actually want to, call your life partner. So without further ado, let's move over to Patrick. Patrick, if you'd just like to share with our viewers who you are and what you do very briefly for us.
Right, okay, thanks, Simone. Yeah, my name's Patrick Stanley. Also known as the Spoken Man. And who am I? First and foremost, I'm a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a child of God. I'm a seed of his love. And, so I'm love of his love, so I'm a seed, always growing, always finding out about myself, actually. So as I grow, I discover more and more about who I am, as I seek God and as I seek his face.
Yeah.
And, stemming out of that. So, that defines me, my relationship with God and so, but stemming out of that, as the spoken man, I perform poetry, I write poetry, I'm an author, I'm a singer-songwriter, playwright, and public speaker. So that's me.
Wow, fantastic. I'm really pleased you mentioned all of that, Patrick, and I'm hoping that we might get a sneak preview of maybe a little something you may have put together, a poem, or
yeah, I may have one or two poems that may be suitable within this meeting.
Fantastic. Can't wait to hear that. Patrick has graced us with many performances, or many a performance, I should say, at our church, where he has, spoken a real word that has dropped so many gems and so many pearls in the congregation. And it would be a true blessing to be able to share that, that talent and that gift, which he is evidently blessed with as a child of God. It would be fantastic to be able to share that with our viewers. But yeah, so moving on to the singles event, Patrick, ICANN Community Church have decided to go into this arena to hopefully address a need. There are many singles out there who are searching, and it can be a bit of a maze when you don't know which way, those who are Christians, those who are not, you sometimes feel like you need a compass to direct you, to just take you straight to the person that you're imagining or the person that you're dreaming of. So first of all, what do you think of that idea that the church has come up with?
Well, I think it's a great idea, because if we don't, God is creator, isn't he? And he put us here to be creative and to come up with ideas. Like, so as you said, I think it's a great idea, for us to branch out in this way, because in church, it's not always the right, I guess, the right platform, or people don't feel comfortable. Sometimes they can be a bit shy in that environment, or sometimes they may have up certain barriers, and it's just it's just not the right platform for them to be speaking to the opposite sex and getting into conversations that they want to get into,
Yeah.
and and to really relax. So I think is a great idea where people can come, and it's a safe environment for them to be in, number one, and I guess they can just feel a lot, let go of some certain inhibitions
Yeah.
that they may have. So yeah, I just think it's great. I think it's a good idea.
I mean, it's interesting you say that. Of course, it's fantastic having a separate environment where hopefully people can be a bit more relaxed and can just be. But I'm just curious as to why it is in the church, men maybe might find it a little bit more difficult to approach the women simply because of where you find yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, we are human beings, and maybe not
Yeah,
necessarily during the service does any kind of full-on interaction have to happen, but certainly before the service begins or afterwards there's always opportunity to engage and to interact.
yeah, yeah. I guess for some people or for some men that may be okay, but like I said, it just may not be that comfortable for some men, and some men are shy. Believe it or not, some men can
I
be
struggle
shy,
to believe that.
just like women. And yeah, I guess it is left down to the guy to talk to the women, talk to a woman that he may like. But sometimes I don't know, maybe women, maybe a guy wants to talk to a woman, and a woman, and she she rushes off after church, or she's not, just I guess just the environment.
It doesn't feel like the right space
Yeah,
perhaps.
it doesn't feel like the right space, and and I think to have something else, another platform, like I said, is a great idea. I mean, there are, I'm thinking about a couple of friends of mine actually because we don't know where we're going to meet somebody. It could be in church. If the vibe is right and you feel strongly to go and talk to somebody and you're comfortable with that, then that's fine. But some people, I guess, they aren't. And so something like this is, like I say, it's a good thing. And some people may think, oh, they don't want to go to something like this, but I'd encourage them to be open,
Definitely.
to different things and different aspects and different ideas.
That's the
As I was
whole
saying,
thing.
I've got a couple of friends, Simone, who met their wives on Christian dating lines, and one of them has been married now for it must be about 10 years. The other one a little bit longer, about sort of 12, 13 years. And their relationships, wow, they couldn't be more harmonious. So that worked for them.
Yeah.
That may not work for somebody else, but something like this may work for some people. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
And Patrick, it's not just a singles event. We have carefully crafted and curated our words. It's a kings and queens event.
Ah,
How
yes.
did that resonate with you, spoken man?
Well, that to me, kings and queens, royalty. Wow, that's
Mm,
well, we are. We are. When we look at, if you look at yourself and look at how God has formed you, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're made in the image
indeed.
of a king. So you are a king, and women are made in the image, of God, mankind, and they're queens. And so, thinking of yourself as a king and how you ought to treat your queen, like royalty.
Absolutely.
You treat her special, you treat her with respect, dignity, honor,
Yeah.
all these things. You got to, you look at yourself and you think highly of yourself, and you think highly of your spouse, someone who you want to be your wife, your queen. So yeah, we need to get used to calling each other kings and queens, because that's what we are.
For sure. And the sooner we inculcate that thinking, into our very being, because it always starts with us, right? And like you say, you think highly of yourself,
right.
you love yourself, that is what you're going to attract. I really like that.
Exactly.
And so these were some of the things that we were trying to embody and put out there, for people to start to think, I'm not just looking for a wife or a husband. This is the arena that I want to occupy. This is a space I want to occupy, royalty, like you say.
That's right. That's right, Simone.
Enough.
Yeah, it starts with us, and and we're all work in progress, and so what you're looking for, you have to be that yourself, don't you? So you're looking for someone who's virtuous. You're looking for someone who's honest, who's loyal, who has integrity. All these attributes, all these things in someone's character is what you're looking for. So therefore, you have to be that yourself, and it's a high calling. Coming into marriage is a high calling. It's ministry. It's ministry. It's to me, it's a rehearsal of things to come. Christ is the bridegroom, isn't he? And us, the church, we are his bride. And
yeah, you're verging into deep terrain there. I love that. That whole kingdom mindset. I mean, that's taking it to a different level, but this is what it's about, right? And these are the kind of people that we are hoping to attract to this event. This is not for the casual minded. We're looking for people who are on that level where, like you say, it's about ministry. It's not just a marriage institution. It's a higher calling. And it's about to espouse yourself with another like-minded individual who's also on that level. You're not necessarily going to think the same thoughts.
No.
Have a vision that's aligned, I think.
Yeah, that's right, Simone. None of us are perfect, but you're looking for someone, I guess, who's going to be equally yoked with you, and has, you're looking to enhance what she's doing. You're looking to encourage and help her in her giftings, in where God's taking her, where she's being led, and vice versa. And what can I say? Two is better than one. God said it's not good for man to be alone, did he not?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings us rather nicely, Patrick, onto your status. So you're a single, eligible man, I would put it that way.
I am, yes, I am.
And I'm just wondering, what have been some of your struggles, perhaps, or your experience as a single man looking for your significant other, your forever lady?
Well, first of all, I think being single, I've just a little bit about myself. I had to be single for a while because there was some healing that had to go on with me. I came out of a divorce some years ago now, and coming out of a divorce is like not going to talk too much about it, but it is kind of like a bereavement, and you do have to get through things and get over things and receive healing, and then move forward. Because there's certain things obviously you don't want to take with you into another relationship, and but now, thank God, I'm in a place. I believe I'm in a place, Simone, where I'm ready to meet somebody, and I am. God says, seek and you will find. So I'm looking, and I am seeking, and I'm open to, as I say, different things, going to different places, trying different things. Within a safe, godly environment.
Sure. And without wanting to delve too deep into that, Patrick, you touched on that whole emotional healing aspect.
Yeah.
Which is crucial, I think, because emotional intelligence is one of those key qualities I believe should be right up there, maybe in the top 3 qualities you're looking for.
Exactly, Simone. That's right, Simone. I think sometimes we come out of relationships and we think, oh, that person wasn't right, this happened, that happened. I need to find somebody who's like this. I need to find Mrs. Right, you know, or I need to find Mr. Right. But to me, it's not about finding Mrs. Right. It's about being Mr. Right. Yeah. So, you know, in our singlet, we have to deal with ourselves first and deal with all those issues.
I like
deal with all those issues. Yeah, yeah. Deal with all those issues, Simone, and then we're ready. Then we're ready. Yeah. You know, wholeness is what we're looking for, and completeness, whether you're single or in a relationship, and looking to the future to get married and stuff, you know.
That's it. You're preaching there, Patrick. Preaching. Wholeness. Being Mr. Right. I should have been writing notes. Oh, it's been recorded, so it's fine. When you're whole, you know, you will attract another whole person.
Yes.
When you're right, you will equally attract somebody who is right. That thing about hurt people.
And it's so true. And you know, and it's so true, Simone. From my experience, well, I can bear witness to that, because you know, I've been there.
I hear that.
You know? Yeah.
What typical qualities would you be looking for in your queen?
Do you know what? I want to read something. After I answer this, I just want to read something called The Covenant of Love. But what am I looking for? Have we got enough time?
We can make,
because I've got a really long list of what I've done. I'm joking.
Maybe you can give us the key qualities.
I guess out there. Just first of all, Simone, somebody who's grounded in Christ, who really loves the Lord, you know, and somebody, you know, a virtuous woman, a woman of integrity, you know, a woman who's fairly well balanced, not somebody perfect, because that's, you know, if things were perfect, we'd be in heaven, wouldn't we? So we're here, you know, someone who's heavenly minded, but of earthly good, you know, that's, and somebody who I click with, I guess, and who I kind of, you know, where I've got that vibe, you know, if that's all I can call it. I've got that vibe where we just know, and we get along, and maybe not all the time, but you know, just something solid like that.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a connection. You feel the connection.
Yeah, feel the connection, and there's a knowing. I guess there's a knowing, because God is the one who will gel that together, because God will be, you know, God will be right in the center of all that. So it's just being open to it and ready to receive that, you know. But I'm looking, you know, I've been working on myself, and I'm looking for the same things in a woman that I've you know, that I've achieved, or I've become, you know, type of thing. You know, I'm looking for the same sort of things there. Like I say, a woman of integrity, someone who can be trusted, you know, somebody who's fun, you know, someone who's fun as well,
and somebody who you can hopefully grow with, right?
Yeah, of course, and where we can journey together, in our quest, you know, in this world, in our quest in life for the kingdom of God. Because, like I said, marriage really is a ministry. And can I just, you know, and that brings me on to sort of reading this poem that I wrote called The Covenant of Love.
Okay.
The covenant of love is a deed not to be taken lightly, ordered and written by the hand of God himself, the Almighty. It's a selfless surrender from a husband to a wife, a constant giving to the point of even laying down your life. A revelation of a unified spiritual bond, a tying of souls from which you should not abscond. So let benevolence reign as one heart beats together through the storms, tests, and trials, edify each other. Giving support through the thick and thin. None of that chat like, he's an idiot, I blame him, or it's her fault, man. Nah, help her again. Forgiveness is key to bear fruit in unity. Queen, be a wife of old, brave and bold, giving good advice and counsel for your man and his soul. King, Be the husband that leads the way, always protecting your family, come what may. Never sleep in anger and there'll be no regrets. Live life to the full, to the deepest depths. It's not about finding Mrs. Right, but being Mr. Right and vice versa. Away with the selfishness and serve each other. For two is better than one, true, but three is better than two. I pray you allow God to walk right next to you. So that's the covenant of love in which you should abide, a free called band between God, woman, and man, a love that's unbreakable when you let him inside.
Ooh, wow. The covenant of love. I feel like there should have been a gallery. Did you see I was even putting emojis, a reaction there? Because
I didn't see that.
For a moment, it felt like there were other people in the room cheering you on, Patrick. That was fabulous. Thank you.
No, good.
I love that. I really did. And
yeah, to me, Simone, that's what it's all about. You know, sometimes I'll just sit there and I'm asking God questions and I pray and I say, God, give me something and teach me something, because God, you know, what God gives me, because it all comes from him, right? You know, your giftings, what you have, what God's using, you know, what God's using you for, what he's put in you to bless others, you know, is it's needed. And you know, it
is. I think the saying is the purpose in life is to find your gift, and the mission is now to share it. And it's one thing when you're doing it yourself. I mean, I've been on that journey too, but it's another thing when you're doing it jointly, because obviously the things that, you know, a couple, the man might see the woman that she doesn't necessarily see or is aware of, and vice versa. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. It's that, you know, we're not meant to be alone, you know. It's and for me, yeah, it's time for me to find my rib or get my rib back, you know.
Amen. Amen. So may it be. So I mean, Patrick, for other Adams out there who might be missing their rib, what words of wisdom or power?
What would I say to them? I'll just say, you know, be open to different ideas, be open to different avenues, to go into different places, to venture in. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know, and you may go to, you may want to come to this, and you don't know what you might gain a wife. You don't know. But if you don't, then you're surely going to make friends. You know, and that's a great thing. But yeah, be open to doing different things and not just stick to the same thing or going to the same places. And because sometimes, you know, you're going to the same places and it's kind of that nothing's happening there, you know, so that should tell you something.
True.
Look, you know, broaden your horizons, I guess, and keep seeking. And to me, if you're doing it with the right mindset and in the you know, with God in mind and God in your heart, then surely God's gonna, you know, cause something to happen. But obviously you choose. God says, you know, Adams, men out there, God says, you know, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And in order to find that wife, you have to seek. That's it, really. That's all. That's it.
For sure. You touched a nerve there, Patrick. That was such a true word about if you keep looking in the same place and you're not finding, then surely that must be telling you something. That's so true, right? I mean, even before the world turned upside down like it has now, I think it had already been heading in that direction where it was getting more and more challenging to find. You know, you're seeking or you feel like you're looking, but really not finding that one. And now, obviously, with the whole situation, lockdown, restrictions, and all of that sort of thing, it's made it virtually impossible, almost.
That's true. That's so true, Simone. Yeah.
And so I think all the more reason when we have a space like this
we need to use it, you know, and utilize it. Yeah, we need to use it. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that.
Fantastic. Well, as we draw to a conclusion, are there any final parting thoughts or words you might want to share about this event on a Friday? And I will share some details.
Well, all I can say is I'm looking forward to going myself. I'm going to go, and I think it's quite an exciting. I think it's exciting, you know, and you know, I'm going there with an open mind. I'm going there to have fun and meet like-minded people, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful. Patrick, thank you so much for joining me on my platform today.
It's been a pleasure.
All that leaves me to say is I wish you all the very best from the bottom of my heart with your quest, and pray that you find your queen. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you, where hopefully not only can we, you know, get into that space of serious-minded connections and all of that, but hopefully have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's been a while since, you know, being in environments where we're able to just let our hair down and just enjoy, hopefully in the company of like-minded, fun individuals, right?
Yep, definitely. Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There will be the inaugural singles event hosted by ICANN Community Church. All the details will be shared below. If you want to find out further information about the event and indeed other work that ICANN Community Church is doing, do check out our website, which is icanncommunitychurch.com. All the details will be shared alongside this video. And once again, as Patrick just said, I fully endorse, underline everything he has said with regards to the event. Do come along, make sure you're there, come with an open mind. That's all we ask. Come with an open mind, leave all the preconceptions at the door, but just enter that venue, enter that space, all embracing, ready to receive, because you never know what difference it might make. So thank you once again for joining us. And without further ado, I will bid you farewell, Patrick. Thank you so much.
Right. Lovely. See you there, folks.
Ciao.
Cheers, Simone. Bye.